So good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Zoom here surrounding manufacturing in our college and career ready night here in District 214. So my name is Jerry Cook. I am the principal of the Wheeling High School, and I'm really excited to host and moderate this session once again on manufacturing for our college and career ready night. So we have a group of panelists here tonight who are going to give us a great opportunity to kind of get some insight into what it means to participate in this pathway. So at this time, I will introduce each person. We'll give them an opportunity to give us a little background and how they are affiliated with District 214. So our first panelist is Kathleen Burley. Kathleen, welcome and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Jerry. Hi, Kathleen Burley. I'm the Executive Director for GCAMP, which is Golden Quarter Advanced Manufacturing Partnership. We are partners with District 214 in that we work with local area manufacturers and with our students, kind of like a bridge to where work-based learning and things that they're learning in school in manufacturing and engineering, that we can then help them, promote them for internships, summer internships, paid internships, that is, apprenticeships, pre-apprenticeships, and hiring if they graduate and they're looking at getting straight into the workforce. So I'm kind of that conduit connection between a lot of manufacturers and the schools.
All right, thank you very much. And once again, thank you for participating this evening. Up next, we have Robin Saffron. Welcome, Robin.
Thanks, Jerry. It's always a pleasure to be with Wheeling High School. As you know, Hydroforce is one of the sponsors in your manufacturing area. So hopefully students see us every day when they're in the labs. We are also sponsors of an apprenticeship program, and we have recruited directly at Wheeling. We have, as I mentioned earlier, we have a Wheeling grad graduating from Harper this year with his Department of Labor recognized apprenticeship. We also hire kids who are not sure what they want to do right after high school. Maybe you want to work a little bit and then go back to school. So we're a good place for children, people like that as soon as they're graduated. And we just enjoy partnering with District 214 and especially Wheeling High School.
And you have been a great partner and we appreciate it. A quick programming note, we are recording this, so if you miss something or want to review it again or share with someone else, it will be available. So this is being recorded. Up next, we have Eric Race. Eric, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Eric Race. I'm one of the teachers at Wheeling High School that teaches engineering and manufacturing and some of the courses that you'll learn about later tonight. So I'm one of a couple teachers at Wheeling High School who teaches engineering and manufacturing.
Well, welcome. We're proud to have you on our team. Up next, John Piper.
Hey, John Piper. I teach very similar to what Eric teaches over at Elk Grove High School. I am strictly manufacturing for the first time this year, which just been great because we are growing our program. And we actually introduced a new class this year that we're kind of piloting called the Career Development Academy, where I have 5 students who have went through the manufacturing pathway, and now in the afternoons, instead of being in school, they actually go out to one of our partners and work in the afternoons. So that was something I just kind of wanted to highlight. I don't know if we'll have that talking point later on, but I would be more than happy to answer questions about that as we get going.
That's amazing, Ms. Piper. Thank you very much. That's a great opportunity for our students in District 214. And lastly, one of our outstanding students, Jenny Madrigon. Jenny, introduce yourself.
So I'm Jenny. I'm actually one of the students at Wheeling High School, and I'm actually currently a junior. I've been taking the manufacturing and engineering classes the last 3 years I've been in school, and it's been a great experience.
All right, very good. Well, once again, I'd like to thank everyone for participating, and we will be asking some questions. And then if you have any questions that you would like to ask, go ahead and type those into the chat box. we do have someone, one of our hosts who are watching the chat box and can ask those questions if you have any questions. So at this time, we'd like to kind of show a slide, and I know that's probably not the easiest to read, but this just kind of highlights our pathway, our manufacturing pathway, and some of the courses in the sequence that a student would take in order to fulfill graduation requirements and be prepared for high school. And so you have your typical English classes, your math classes. Now, what's really interesting in Illinois now is that you can take a geometry class now in CTE, Career Technical Education, and actually earn a math credit while taking the class actually in the contextualized format. So what that means in some of our schools, you may take a construction and geometry course. At Wheeling High School, we offer robotics and geometry course. So that's some of the changes that are happening in the state of Illinois. You take about three social studies courses, your science courses, your fine arts, consumer education, physical education. These are all courses that you need to take in order to meet the requirements for District 214 and the state of Illinois. But then, you can, on the right-hand side there, you can see some of the career technical education courses that you'd want to take in order to follow this pathway. So I believe some of this is being shared with you digitally, so you can take a little bit better of a look at that and kind of get an idea of what courses you want to take. And if you saw the video earlier tonight with Megan Knight, she talked about her own experience and how she just kind of randomly took different courses. And here in District 214, we really provide a sequence of courses that will prepare you for life after high school. It doesn't mean that you are majoring in anything. It's allowing you to get an experience and kind of tailor your courses to get an idea of what you may like or even what you may not like after high school. And that's a great opportunity that we have here in our district. So at this time, I'm going to stop sharing that, and we're going to open up our panel to a number of questions so that you as incoming students will have an opportunity to kind of understand what we offer here and what this pathway really means. And so the first question I'm going to ask Robin from Hydroforce is, kind of describe what a typical day looks like in your company for one of your employees, perhaps someone new going into that profession.
So for one of our manufacturing associates coming into Hydroforce, there's no such thing as a typical day because every day brings different challenges. And they may be working in one area on, we design and manufacture valves. So they could be working on assembling a valve. They could be working on testing a valve. They could be working with robots. They could be working in our quality area, running some of our very sophisticated quality equipment, such as a CMM machine. So a typical associate doesn't have a real typical day. In manufacturing today, there's so many different opportunities that whatever they want to do is available to them.
Very good, thank you. So Kathleen, you work with a number of local manufacturing engineering companies across Northern Illinois. What are some of the things that your partners are looking for in people coming out of high school or looking to enter the job field?
They're looking for a lot of different things. A lot are looking for, you don't have to know everything, but if you've been able to take a technical course and get just a little bit of hands-on, it could be an engineering class, it could be project lead the way, it could be an autos class, any kind of a hands-on class to give them that feel to try that out. The other thing that they're looking for is dependability. They want you to show up. They want you to be present. They want to work with you just like you want to work with them. So it's just the showing up and the being, you know, on time and the timeliness, things like that, and really wanting to be there. So.
All right, very good. So what I heard there was, as much as there's a need for some technical skills, it's really a lot of the soft skills that employers are really looking for. Is that correct?
Yeah. What do you think, Robin? You agree?
I do. I think that soft skills are really important because if you don't know the technology yet, but you can demonstrate that you are reliable and that you are open to learning, that's going to take you real far.
So let me throw that question over to Mr. Race and Mr. Piper. How does that translate to school? What are some of those soft skills that we are looking to incorporate in our students that then transfer over into the workplace?
I could take this one. So one thing that we really hit on a lot is being able to collaborate and work with others in class. Oftentimes we have group projects or projects that start off as groups, and you really have to learn how to work with people and collaborate in order to get ready for that industry and that make sure that you're career ready. Because when you're in a career, you're always going to work with people, and being able to collaborate and starting as a freshman year and continue to work and improve on those skills throughout your sophomore, junior, and senior year is really beneficial in helping you become career ready.
Yeah, just to echo what Mr. Ray said and what Robin and Kathleen were saying is, you know, we need you to show up to time on class. They need you to show up time on work. Okay, we need you to be focused in class. They need you to be focused at work. So a lot of these skills that we talk about in class translate directly over to when you get out into the workforce.
All right, very good. Mr. Race, can you describe maybe some of the course sequences that a student interested in this career area might take here in District 214?
Yeah, so students would start off with an introduction to engineering class by Project Lead the Way. And again, you can get college credit for these as well. And you get college credit from some of these Project Lead the Way courses. So you could start out with that or a fabrication technology course where you really learn to focus on hands-on making. So you can't go wrong with either of those choices. And then you would move into computer integrated manufacturing your sophomore year, where you learn how to run machines and design on the computer and then create. So you're learning how to design, think of something in your mind, model it on the computer, and then you get to go out and use the machines and actually create it. From there, you get to go to college advanced machine tech, which is a dual credit Harper class. So you are receiving Harper credit and college credit for these courses. And then your senior year, you would take a CNC, college advanced computer numerical control machining class. Again, that is Harper. It is a Harper class. And throughout those courses, you get 7 credit hours from Harper, which is half a semester by just taking 2 classes in high school.
Wow, that's amazing. So if students take some of the other dual credit opportunities in high school, they can literally graduate sometimes up to a whole year with a whole year of college credit under their belts and able to go to college almost as a sophomore, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, Mr. Piper, you had mentioned in your introduction that you are starting a really innovative program this year. So Mr. Race kind of talked about the sequences. Now, what is it that you're offering there at your school right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a new program we're trying to revive a little bit. It's a work study type program where as your senior, like senior year, as Mr. Race was kind of explaining, you take, you know, basic, a little bit deeper as you work through. And what we're doing at Elk Grove this year is we're taking those students that are almost like out of classes to take in manufacturing. What we do is we have them with a partner out in our industrial park right here in Elk Grove. And what they do is they come in the morning. So they take their math, they take their English, they take that advanced CNC course that Mr. Race talked about, as well as, one more elective. A lot of our students take an autos class as well. So they're there basically periods 1 through 4. They eat lunch. And now in the afternoons, they go over and they actually work with one of our partners in an internship program. So this year I have 2 students working at ERA Industries in the afternoon and 3 students working over at FPM Heat Treating in the afternoon. So they literally have work release where they don't have to be in the school anymore from 1:30 until the end of the day. And most of these companies actually want to keep these students a little bit longer. So they're working about 15 to 20 hours a week on top of getting credit for going and working with these partners out in industry. One thing that we tried this year and worked really well is these students are actually getting paid on top of their credit for high school, as well as getting out of school during the day. So it's a really great program. And the goal with these students is to get them with a company that will actually train them, kind of like Miss Burley and Miss Saffron were talking about, and mold them into what they really see these students' strengths are and how they can really help the company long term. So that's kind of a cool program we're starting this year, and we're hoping to grow it as we grow our manufacturing program at Elk Grove.
Wow, so students are taking classes in the first part of the day and then actually working on site in the field that they want to pursue in the afternoon. Am I getting you right there, Mr. Piper?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have students in quality control. I have students in assembly. I have students in deburring and milling. And I have students just kind of intake and outtake. They're really tailoring what they're doing out in the workforce to what these students really have interests in.
And did you say they're getting paid?
Yes, sir. They are getting paid. And all of them are working at least 20 hours a week, and about 15 of those are during the school day.
And so inquiring minds want to know, how much are these students being paid?
We started out at $11 an hour with the company's discretion to increase their pay as, they show their worth.
Wow. And earning high school credit. That's an amazing opportunity. Now, I know there are a lot of companies who will take on interns who then also work with Harper College to allow students to get their associate's degree. So Robin, can you talk a little bit about that? I believe Hydroforce, you have some interns, is that correct?
We do. We have, I think what you're talking about is our apprentice program.
Yes, apprentice, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And that's a program where the students go to school for 3 years and graduate with their associate's degree. They go 8 weeks in the fall, 8 weeks in the spring, full-time school full-time. They're paid. So that 40 hours a week they are paid for, because that's their job while they're in school, is to be there. And then when they're not in school, they work for us, and they obviously get paid for that. And it's a combination of classroom and on-the-job training. They receive a Department of Labor designation as a certified apprentice when they're through, and they can do CNC precision machining is one of the options. They can do manufacturing technology support. They can also do facilities maintenance support, which is not what people think it is. It's more machine focused, keeping the factory open and running. Fabulous program. And as I said, the kids get paid to go to school, and when they graduate, we encourage them to go on and finish their bachelor's degree.
Okay, very good. Jenny, you're a student. Have you had any workplace-based experiences so far?
So currently, the most like workplace that you can say would be like in the lab. So we're since I'm taking the manufacturing class at College of Advanced Machine and Technology, we actually started working on the lathes and the manual mill as well. And it's we are in the labs, and like we cut pieces up We've also, since I've taken sim, we've worked with the robots, and we started working with I did robot this one after school activity. It was called Robot Rumble. We designed like robots as well, and like we would cut them. And I can say that there's like that I can call that as close as to like workplace too.
Yeah, so part of the problem is with the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had to limit some of our work-based experiences. So unfortunately, you have been a little limited. However, talk a little bit about your coursework so far at Wheeling High School in this pathway, and how has it helped you either reaffirm your post-high school career choices or school choices, or how has it maybe challenged or changed it? So you're a junior now and you've taken courses. How has that helped you kind of figure out what you want to do after high school?
It's made me like grow a passion for the things I'm doing, and it's made me learn more things and grow, like improve in some aspects, like for example, like engineering. Like I've learned how to design stuff or cut stuff. So like it's made me grow a passion for them, and it's made me realize what I want to do when I grow up. And like I'm more open about like doing stuff outside of school, and like how I can apply this to life, and how I'm able to like how Miss Saffron said, like how we can get apprenticeships or internships. Like it's interesting, and I watch out for those opportunities as well. It's like something that we are able to receive as well.
Okay. So Jenny, obviously, you are a female student in the engineering manufacturing pathway. We also have Robin and Kathleen here. So we're really representing women in manufacturing and engineering. How is that, either to Kathleen or Robin, how is that different, or why should female students really consider engineering manufacturing?
I'll be happy to answer that one. Is primarily because it was a career path that was closed to women for a long time. It's a great opportunity. It's high paying. It's clean. It's not this dirty old factory that maybe you think your grandfather worked in. And it's a great opportunity for women to advance. Women in machining and women in manufacturing are now taking leadership roles such as plant management. They're moving through the ranks in engineering. So it's definitely a field that was closed to women, or I should say discouraged the females to take those kinds of classes. And now it's wide open and the opportunities are fabulous.
If I can add, why not? Why wouldn't a girl want to go into manufacturing and to engineering? And it doesn't have to be engineering, it can be welding. Oh my gosh, there's a great camp through Triton, Girls Who Weld. And it's fun to make things. And for girls, it's not just about crafting, it's about making. And girls, just like boys, you like to see how things beginning to end, how something is made. Manufacturing is for everybody, everywhere, because everything that you look at and you touch, including your dinner, is all manufactured. So
great answers. So we do have a number of questions that have popped up in our chat box. So this first question, we'll pose it to Mr. Race and Mr. Piper. It says, what resources are available for the kids to get a big picture understanding of the types of engineering that exist and types of careers that fall under those categories? For example, mechanical engineering versus electrical engineering, chemical engineering, aerospace engineering, etc. So how do students kind of get a broad view of all the different engineering opportunities?
I think that's a great question. We really try to incorporate as many types of engineering jobs as possible. So we go anywhere between mechanical engineering when you're making something and you're working on the CNC mill. There is industrial engineering when we're talking about speeds and feeds and trying to find the most efficient way of creating a part. We have aerospace classes where we get to you get to learn about flight and all that. We actually make we make flight hardware for NASA. So I have I had a previous student in our introduction to engineering class, and she really wants to be an astrophysicist. And she was able to actually jump on our Zoom with our Dr. Gold, who is our NASA, she's a NASA engineer, quality control engineer. And that student, who was not even in manufacturing that year, was able to still learn about aerospace. So we incorporate all different types of engineering into our courses. And we really take a firm stand on figuring out what type of engineering your student wants to go into or you want to go into. Because you oftentimes hear that I want to be a mechanical engineer. And then we ask, what does a mechanical engineer do? And they don't really know. So we really try to reaffirm what that job does. And maybe if you really want to be a mechanical engineer, but your job description that you want to do really fits an industrial engineer, we kind of talk about the differences and you get to learn about the different types of engineering.
Yeah, just to build on what Eric said, Mr. Ray said, we also focus on not just engineering careers, but just careers in general that are very technical and manufacturing based. So, we talk about ideas or what a plant manager would do, okay, or what a tool and die maker would do. So not only are we talking about engineering, but we're also talking about these career tracks that maybe you don't need to go to a four-year college for. You get at a company like Hydroforce, and they'll kind of train you and send you to school at the same time. So we do a lot of career research. We do a lot of understanding, how much does someone right out of high school make in the engineering or in the actual manufacturing field. And within manufacturing, there are so many other areas that you can go into. So we do focus on careers and what can come after high school, not necessarily maybe a four-year college, but what other pathways there are.
All right, very good. Thanks for that very in-depth answers. Robin or Kathleen, there's a question here about salaries. And so, ballpark, and granted, there's a wide array of salaries that people within engineering can earn. Can you give us a ballpark idea, maybe what a starting salary would be for someone going into engineering, and then maybe, 10, 15 years into their careers, what is the earning potential?
Robin,
Well, that is kind of what I do. We have, just so you know, Hydroforce has over 140 engineers, primarily mechanical engineers. We like to call them mechanical engineers, the jack of all trades, because they are able to do so many different things. So a mechanical engineer coming out of college after 4 years of a bachelor's degree program can look to start out in probably the mid to upper 60s as a starting salary. And an electrical engineer would probably, we do have several of those as well. And I would say those start out in the low 70s right now. That's 2020 money. An industrial engineer would look at the low 60s, but realistically, later on in their careers, the sky's the limit. Depends on what they do. If they go on and get a master's degree or an MBA, they go into research and development. They do multitasking, meaning several different roles. Most of my engineers are well into the six figures after 10 years for sure. So if you're looking for a high-paying career that is never the same every day, I would say engineering is it.
All right, very good. So there's a question, go ahead.
if you don't mind me jumping in there. So I do know, Robin, are all of the engineers at Hydroforce, are they four-year engineers? Or the industrial, do you have any of the two-year?
By definition, an engineer is typically a four-year. So we call our 2 year we call our 2 years engineering technicians.
Okay.
And I would say after 10 years of being an engineering technician, they are making very, very good money. They come in at a nice rate, and they advance as well. And again, at Hydroforce, we do tuition reimbursement, so we do encourage them and give them the opportunity to get their bachelor's.
One thing that I also wanted to touch on is there's more to manufacturing than engineering. I mean, obviously, you know, we talk a lot about engineering, but for every engineer at a company, and maybe this is so, maybe it's not with Hydroforce, but for every engineer at a company, you have to have probably a half dozen, maybe more, maybe less, of support positions that are not low paying either. You've got CNC programmers, you've got CNC machinists. They're all pretty well paid, and I'm ballparking when I say that, you know, with the 2 year degree, you can still come out at 40 to close to 40, and with a little experience after a few years, $40,000 to $60,000 with a 2 year degree. So there are very solid, you know, career pathways that are not always in the 4 year realm. And I say that, I mean, I know that as a parent myself, that, you know, we ultimately always start out, well, you know, college and 4 year, but not everybody can do that. And in some cases, maybe it takes longer. Maybe you get that 2 year degree, what I call the 2+2. So you get your 2 year degree, and then you go with a company, and Robin's going to hire on Jennifer or something. No, I'm kidding. And then pays for you to get your 4 year. So, or maybe you find that you don't need that 4 year. There are some positions within companies that you don't have to have a 4 year degree, and you're still well paid. And yeah, so that was my 2 cents. That, you know, there are so many different. The other real thing that I forgot to say, Jerry, was that when we talk about graduating from high school, all of these positions, everything is becoming more and more technologically advanced. So you will need training, whether it's an apprenticeship, whether it's Department of Labor apprenticeship, or whether it's training, your NIMS certifications when you get on the job. Companies are always going to need to train you and give you, whether it's Harper College or training programs, there is more advanced training down the road. And with that training generally comes pay bumps.
All right, thank you very much. And so there are a lot of opportunities out there. And Robin, Kathleen, you work with a lot of different companies. So you have a really good understanding of the demands for that companies have right now to fill these positions. What does the job market look like right now in manufacturing?
It's the job market. It's, even with COVID, there are companies that are hiring now. They're still in need now. Some of them may have paused. You know, we didn't have, with us, a lot of what we do is summer internships. That was difficult this past summer. We weren't able to get too many positions filled as far as students, but it's just a pause. There are still companies that are in need, that will be in need. And as I tell the companies, when COVID is gone, the skills gap will still be there. And the skills gap, for those that don't know what that is, there's by 2025, there's 2.5 million jobs in manufacturing that will go unfilled by 2025. So you can go on any manufacturing job board most of the time, and there's always a few positions. So the need is there, and manufacturing is, like I said before, everything that you look at and touch and eat is manufactured. I don't know what more of a stable career pathway than manufacturing, because it's never going to go away. With automation, you just need more advanced technical skills to run the automated robots. It doesn't take jobs, it creates jobs.
Okay. So there was a question about where the 2021-22 academic book is located. That's going to be on our website. It may still be updated. Usually by January, that is updated and posted. So keep your eyes open on our website for our academic handbook that shows all the courses that you can take. There's another question here about, is this the only engineering pathway, manufacturing engineering pathway? It is not. Out of our schools, I would say all of us have really robust programs. Two of them, Prospect and Hersey, may not have as robust, but students can take Project Lead the Way courses in all of those schools, but definitely Elk Grove, Wheeling, Buffalo Grove, those three, and Rolling Meadows, they all have very robust engineering manufacturing courses that you can take. And so reach out to the high schools and you can get some more information about what is available. So we're about to wrap up. The next session is at 7:15. We're at 7:05 right now. So I'm just gonna hand it over to our participants. Just give us one last thought about manufacturing engineering. Maybe the courses you're teaching, your experiences. What's one thing you'd like to share with everyone who's participating with us tonight? And we'll start with you, Robin.
I would say take advantage of the classes you can get. It's a unique opportunity. As you said, you can combine classroom study with college study, with work study. Take advantage of it, because if you don't try it, you won't know.
Very good. Kathleen?
I would say my last wrap-up thought here would be to take advantage of all your hands-on skills, the robot teams, the high mileage vehicle races. And if you are going to college next year, if you're going to go to Harper, if you decide to go to a 4-year and you're in engineering, the number one piece of advice that I have is keep up with hands-on training. Because when you go to a college, whether it's Harper, whether it's a 4-year college, if you're going straight into college, a lot of that is theory-based, and there is some hands-on, but you're not going to get as much hands-on as you will in high school at these programs. So take it while you can get it. Take my G-Camp card and call me in between and in the summers, and let us help you get an internship, a paid internship, to get extra hands-on training.
Great. Jenny?
I recommend to take advantage of the classes and courses, because not only are you gaining hands-on experience, but you're getting college credit, you're saving money for college because you're getting the college credit in high school. And honestly, it's a lot of fun because you collaborate with other people, and it's you learn a lot of stuff. So yeah.
Very good. Mr. Race?
Absolutely. Just like everyone's been saying, take advantage of these opportunities. If this is something you're interested in, absolutely you're in the right spot. If you're still unsure and you don't know what to do, we prepare you for careers, but we also have a lot of fun in class. If you want just something to learn about and find something new that you maybe not have ever done before, absolutely take the classes. Like Mr. Cook said earlier, you might love it, or you might understand that maybe this isn't for you, but more oftentimes than not, people fall in love and they're hooked for life.
All right, well said. And Mr. Piper, I usually don't let anyone have the last word, but you have the last word.
All right, thank you. Just to echo everybody, these are great opportunities for you to explore different options. So when you do get out of high school, you have more of a track on maybe what you think you want to do versus going to Harper for 2 years and not really deciding and then transferring somewhere else. These courses, and not just manufacturing, our autos program, our aerospace, our graphic arts, all these programs offer great kind of glimpses into what careers you could have after you leave high school. Even if you don't decide to go to a 4-year college, a lot of times companies are looking to hire you right away. And as I said, they will kind of train you and turn you into maybe what you want to be and what they can see you doing long-term as well. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you once again to our participants for sharing your experiences and insights and predictions of what the future is going to be like for engineering and manufacturing. And so if you are a participant in this right now, the next session is going to start at 7:15. If you go back to the discover214.org website, you will click on the link for second session. So that concludes our session for tonight. Thank you very much for coming. All of this will be recorded or is recorded, will be on the website along with some other information. My name is Jerry Cook. I'm at jerry.cook@d214.org. So if we weren't able to answer some of your questions, you want to shoot me an email, I will get back to you and give you some more information and answer your questions. Even if you're not going to go to the best high school in District 214, I will take the time to help you out. So thanks a lot. Have a great one and peace.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody.
Appreciate it. You guys did a great job.
Oh, thanks for
Thank
having
you,
us.
Jerry.
All right, I'm gonna end this just to let you know. I don't want you to be like, oh, he just hung up on us.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Bye-bye, guys.
Yeah.